Hi, welcome back. Kaylied Gamer here for a bit of an evening stream now, probably for an hour or so. Actually playing a bit of Buggy on the Dreamcast.
3, 2, 1, go!
I tend to see a lot of this game on YouTube.
Buggy Heat.
It's been a bad game, something a bit different on the Dreamcast. Not loads of racing games on the Dreamcast. And this one's a bit different. I think it's called TNT Hardcore, something in America. I'm not really sure in American maybe. TNT Hardcore or something. Volume down a bit. The handling in this, you say driving game. Is it racing game? Do you class it as a racing game? Sort of an off-road racing game. Or the handling in this game can be a bit skitty. Probably trying to simulate the fact that it's like off-road racing, I suppose. And exactly, you know, standard cars. Some of the like kit cars. There's like rally cars as well. Play the championship. And we'll go with the normal mode first. Start things off a little bit easier. Unlocked all these cars way back. So a couple of hidden cars in here as well, I do believe. The Beelzebub car is an unlockable. You can also edit your cars as well and things. Usually choose this one for some reason.
USA.
私に祝福を
3, 2, 1, go!
神に感謝行くぞ問題ではない負けんよし
This car's a bit of a decent all-rounder, really. Cars tend to, or should I say vehicles tend to be better off-road and others tend to be better on the tarmac. This one seems a bit more of an in-between model. Sort of, bit of a middle of the road, literally. You're lucky if you can stay in the middle of the road in this game, huh? You can change the viewpoints as well, like in-car view. First championship's quite easy really, unless you make a few silly mistakes.
Checkpoint.
Again, only ever on the Japanese version of this, never on the UK PAL version. I'm not sure if that is any extra content or anything. I think that was also called Buggy as well. I think it's just the American release. It was called Hardcore TNT 4x4 or something. APSMK boy. Game's this? It's Buggy on the Dreamcast. How are you this evening? Just playing a bit of Dreamcast for a change. Nice replays in this as well.
2, 1, go!
That music's gone the other way now, and it's gone really quiet. Turn up a little bit. Yeah, this is Buggy on the Dreamcast. This is the Japanese version. Really, you've only ever played the demo disc? Demo discs don't always sell a game, do they really? I remember getting this when it got released, the Dreamcast, well, within the first couple of months of its release on the Dreamcast anyway. And this is that same exact copy. The graphics have held up quite well on this and quite sharp, quite detailed, smooth. Not a lot of popping on this game either. Obviously they've probably kept the track detail down, maybe simplified things a little bit compared to like Sega Rally maybe, or Sega Rally 2. But the you know, the detail on the characters and the vehicles, I mean even suspension coils there you can see them sort of like modelled, even though they're quite basic, but you do see them actually compressing and stuff there, so yeah, Buggy. Finished this way back, still got the same save game on the memory card as well. And the same arcade, on the same Dreamcast controller. You still have every issue of the official official Dreamcast magazine. Yeah, I did have DC UK as well. DC UK Dreamcast magazine, the official Dreamcast magazine. I think I had about 3 different Dreamcast magazines. Sold them all now actually, I've just got rid of the lot. The only magazines that I've got now are some Edge magazines and the odd few leftovers of stuff like something called Total Control and stuff like that from way back. Probably a couple of games as well, like Games TM, whatever it was called. Yeah, now I sold all my Dreamcast and SAT magazines off way back. I just got rid of them. They were just sitting around, and you know, it's nice to look over them, to be fair. But I sold them on. Bundled them up and sold them on eBay. Just got rid of them. Ooh, way back. Got some Edge magazines now, like I say. Just Edge magazines. Still got all my Edge magazines. Got most of Edge. from issue 1 right up to issue something like 95 or something like that, and then after that I sort of, once it was a sort of time of the Dreamcast was getting cancelled and that, and Xbox and PlayStation 2 come out, I sort of stopped buying Edge magazine then, and then sort of just got the individual magazines from then onwards, like Cube magazine and things.
Egypt.
よし始めよう
3, 2, 1, go!
This is one of them games, if you get out in front of the pack, it ain't so bad. Fall behind, you can really struggle to try and catch up, and you're going to make a few dodgy mistakes. I do like this game. Well, I like. Hey, Gul, how you doing? I do like Sega GT as well. It's a little bit basic compared to Gran Turismo, I guess, but the Sega GT is another good sort of like racing game slash racing simulator, I suppose, driving simulator for the Dreamcast. But this is like a little bit different with the old off-road racing. Definitely better than Saturn Hardcore 4x4. So I've owned loads of different racing games for the Dreamcast over the years, and probably, you know, it's one of my favourites. Once you get used to the handling, it ain't so bad. I think a lot of people just really couldn't get their head around the old slidey handling. Obviously, it's supposed to simulate the nature of the vehicles, you know, and being like top heavy, a lot of them are top heavy off-road vehicles. So. And it ain't the fastest moving game, so I suppose it's low on thrills compared to some racing games, stuff like Speed Devils and that. Yeah, this is it's pretty cool actually. I do like this. I like Buggy. And he's pretty cheap to buy as well, as far as I'm aware. He's like, you know, this is a sub 20 quid game if you want to buy it on the Dreamcast, especially Japanese. I think I probably paid about 35 quid for this when it came out on impulse. Well, I have sunk a few hours into it over the years. And it was one of the games I didn't really want to get rid of on my Dreamcast collection. I did keep quite a lot of my Dreamcast games. So I got rid of a few of the ones that I wasn't really playing so much. Stuff like King of Fighters. Later ones like 99 and 2000, I wasn't really playing them. Yeah. No, they're great. I do like the magazines, but just, they add that many at one time. They just consume that much space. Yeah, with the old gaming magazines, you can start it and just have too many of them. I had loads of them at one time. It is nice to look back at the old screenshots and stuff, and some of the articles, you know, some of the hype that used to surround the release of the games and stuff, you know. Obviously the publishers and things used to release the press details and, you know, elaborate things, exaggerate things slightly. But this, I think this was released by someone else other than Sega over here. Is it Crave Entertainment or something? But it may have been released by Sega over here and released in America by Crave Entertainment or something. Nah, I don't like hardcore 4x4 on the Saturn, that's awful. That really. It got released on that Evercade thing, didn't it, recently? The Gremlin collection, didn't it? Why ever would you release that? I would not know. Nah, you wouldn't want to be releasing that. Why would you ever want to release that now? This day and age, hardcore 4x4. You know, like PlayStation Sat version. It's a lousy game, isn't it?
Russia.
神のご加護
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, it's worth picking up. You can pick this up cheap, especially if you've got like a Japanese Dreamcast. I think it's super cheap. It's downhills fast, isn't it? Feels fast. You get a lot of speed on this track, obviously because it's a bit more slippier than usual, being a snow track or like an Arctic track, whatever. It's in Russia. This is, and if you could pick this up cheap, so, you know, it's worth giving it a shot. If you can, you know, get used to the handling, I think it controls really well with the analog stick. It's sort of got that sort of like floaty. You need to oversteer. It's like the direct opposite of Daytona. On the Dreamcast, which is really twitchy, but super accurate with the analog stick, whereas this is more like floaty. You're almost like gliding, because obviously trying to simulate a sort of off-road big tyre, you know, physics sort of thing. Actually using a different Dreamcast HDMI converter cable tonight, using the Big Funks one that I got a while ago. I've got the Hyperkin one. I've got a Big Funks one as well. And this Big Funks one as well is quite it's quite nice, but I think the volume seems really loud compared to the Hyperkin. But the pitch quality is just the same. So if anyone wants, you know, an HD solution for the Dreamcast, I'd say it's, you know, it's a cheap and cheerful option. Me personally, I'd say.
では行こうか
3, 2, 1, go!
You always get the same games, don't you? Sort of people play on Dreamcast. It's always Dead or Alive, isn't it? It's Dead or Alive. Third Strike. You know, people like Daytona and stuff, you know, Sonic Adventure. We see a lot of variation here with the Dreamcast on the show. I was thinking of actually playing Headhunter. It means fishing out the replay disc. So obviously that's a PAL game, and I'd need to play it through because my Japanese import Dreamcasts, they're all standard. They ain't alright, so they ain't been chipped or anything. So I'd have to play them through a boot disc, which I've got a couple. I've got the DC Exploder one. I've got the replay one as well. How you doing, sub? I'm just going to have an hour on the Dreamcast. I thought, well, I'll play a bit of something different. No, I like this actually. It's alright. Once you get used to the handling, it's decent. It's alright. Obviously, the graphics are of its time, so sometimes the models of cars and that maybe look a bit, you know, simplistic, but it's all nice and smooth, and you know, no popping, whatever you want to call it. So all these are unlocked. Obviously, when you first play this game, hard and expert are locked. When you play through normal, hard and expert, obviously. Got the different vehicles, different drivers. So they're all based on sort of real life vehicles, like I suppose like a Hummer in it, you know, the old combat tanker. Obviously this is supposed to be a Hilux, I would say. What would that one be? What would you say that is? Beelzebub, that's an unlockable. So we've got the typical Buggy style, kit car style. Got a little rally car. It's a bit like a Suzuki, doesn't it? It's like a Suzuki Alto or something, doesn't it? No. So that is. Again, another kit car. Jacked up box or that? No, what, that one? Does look a bit, looks a bit like it, doesn't it? I'd say it's more like probably a Suzuki Alto or something. And that is just like your typical off-roader, and like the typical off-road style. Like what you see now when they're like doing the hill climbs and that in Iceland and places like that. Obviously that's your typical barge-yard buggy. The Hummer. I would say that's, what would you call them now? You used to see loads of them around. I don't know, I can't think of it. You used to see loads of them around. Japanese. Mitsubishi. Shogun? A Shogun maybe? Is that a Shogun? Four-wheel Thunder. Yeah, I used to own Four-wheel Thunder. It's alright. Feels very like, I don't know, feels like a PC game, doesn't it? So it's slow off the mark.
Scarlet
Choose this.
mode.
It's looking like it wants to get physical, don't it? It's very wants to get physical. Oh no, yeah, the 3-spoke alloys there.
France.
Vive la France.
Okay.
3, 2,
It's a little bit like Overcast,
go.
this track. So it's a little bit dark. Let's see how that Overcast look about it, this track.
まあ実力よね。
You start your back of the pack going, you have to fight your way forward. See these are a little bit more
よっしゃ。Okay.
competitive on this level. Give a shortcut. Ooh.
はいわね。
Some of the track detail, you know, some like the surface detail. It's really sharp. But on a big screen, you sort of get it looks a bit like jaggy maybe on this game. Whoa.
手直してきな。
See, that's a mistake. It's a mistake to make. It's easy to lose the vehicle on some of the jumps. Some like nice shading and stuff on the textures on the cars, like say lighting on the car there, you know.
Checkpoint.
But it's the handling. You have to be careful, especially with some of the faster vehicles like this thing here. If you ain't careful with it, some of the jumps and stuff, you just completely lose control of the vehicle, and you know you'll lose 3 or 4 positions easy. I do like about the Dreamcast. It's sort of like one of the earlier consoles that sort of pioneered the triggers, didn't he? So if you know the analog triggers for like brake, accelerate. Obviously, Xbox elaborated on that, and PlayStation sort of done its own thing as well over time. Similar sort of thing with the triggers, but I do like with the Dreamcast controller. Just get a lot of output.
Checkpoint.
Prior to that, okay, you had the Saturn 3D pad that got it, but it wasn't a pad that was packed in with the system, was it? I think Sega did sort of think about the controller, you know, it ain't the most comfortable controller for Western gamers because obviously we've got slightly bigger hands than the Japanese. For the use of the triggers and stuff, I think it's really, you know, it was innovative at the time. I think it was a useful addition to controllers. Obviously, Xbox sort of
Finish.
capitalised on that, didn't they? Exactly, Olivia Newton-John. Yeah, they're nice and short, very arcadey, you know what I mean? They don't go on for forever. That's what I like about them, nice and short.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think the Peru tracks might be on the next Grand Prix or this one. The Peru track's a little bit bigger. Like the crossover track, if I remember right, that one is. Yeah, it's definitely looking a bit Olivia Newton-John. can mess around with the replay and see and choose the different angles. I think press the buttons. See, yeah. So you got an in-car view there with the left trigger. You see actually see the
Checkpoint.
feet moving and stuff. I think there, yeah. You know, see the feet moving. It's a little bit different, isn't it? With the old gear changes and stuff. That's the rear view. Press different buttons during the replay. You can take the display off if you want by pressing the right trigger. You know, the information screen, so the display. Your on-screen stats.
Checkpoint.
So you can have the sort of like in-car view there. You can see the legs and arms and the old movements of the vehicle controls as well during the replay. So it'll be alright. It's alright if you can pick it up cheap. So if you can pick it up cheap, it's a bit of a steal, I think.
Checkpoint.
It's just a game that you don't see a lot of generally on the Dreamcast. It's like people don't talk about it. I think it's got panned a bit because of the handling. I mean, it ain't content heavy game in any way, shape or form. You've got your 3 championships, you've got your versus mode, and that's it. Your time attack. It's, you know, it's super simple. I think probably got lamented because of they thought the handling was a bit skitty and the lack of content maybe. Yeah, we'll go with the next track, back to Egypt again. They do tend to repeat some of the tracks, sort of mix them in with the new tracks for the different Grand Prix, or championships, or the Grand Prix, it's championshipy. You can get to the garage, you can change the settings on the cars as well, look, so you can change the colours and stuff, stickers, you can tune the vehicle. If in doubt, use Google Lens, that's what I'll say. And stickers, you can make stickers as well. Choose different stickers. I think you can actually make your own as well. I'm not quite sure. You can add different stickers on. Painting. Change the colour of the vehicle if you want as well. And colour types. I think you can unlock them as well. Maybe some unlockables. Exactly, you can pick it up for under a tenner, so it's alright. I say, I bought it, well, 2000 and whatever, was it 2000? Probably end of 1999, probably 2000 I bought it. But, you know, so I've had it for like 20 odd years. So, don't owe me anything for 30 quid that I paid back then. Played it loads over the years.
Egypt.
Okay.
3, 2,
Don't think you tell this value like you say too well, but obviously that's the thing with older racing games. They always get sort of, it's on the looks in it with a racing game a lot of the times. It's, you know, a lot of the earlier racing games and stuff just sort of look dated more than anything, more than play dated. You know, it's like that. It's like the Gran Turismo. Get out the way, Premier. What's he doing? Idiot. It's like the Gran Turismo. It's always the FIFAs. Last year's always loses value, doesn't it? I think it's a lot of racing games as well. They're centred the same, don't they? It's like Manx TT and stuff on the Saturn. It's quite cheap to pick up in it. Obviously, they've been superseded over the years. There's better looking motorbike games and stuff, motorbike racing games, and an old Saturn Manx TT. It's great that it plays, but it's always been. And so we've got a bit of sandstorm going on here. Make sure you sort of stay on track. Otherwise, stay on the centre of the track. This helps.
Checkpoint. Final lap.
Just going clear off. It's me crunching the gears. Now it's one of them games that a lot of people over the years have sort of looked past and just headed for the big names on the Dreamcast, the more common stuff.
Checkpoint.
Back into the sandstorm. You can select the in-car view as well. I'm trying to head across the dunes here and you can see the best to slow down on. Lose a bit of time here. Look, see, he's going to pit into the post, right at the checkpoint on the end as well. Look, there's too much time at the end there. Look.
Finish.
Yeah. It's that place again.
行くわよ
3, 2, 1, go.
See, it's very arcadey. The graphics are nice on it. They're fairly detailed, nice and smooth. Tracks are small. You can sort of, you can memorise the tracks as well. You get a feel for it. That guy there, look at that. Can you believe that? Different car views in.
Checkpoint.
I think this Sega GT sort of get looked over quite a lot, don't they? This more so than Sega GT. I remember seeing the screenshots of this in the magazines before it got released, and they were obviously promoting it because CRI released this, and I do believe the CRI were part of the Sega umbrella. You know what I mean? The company. And CRI had quite a few shares in Sega.
Checkpoint.
See the Sphinx in the background now on the replay. Don't really get to see that, do you, during the game? You have no idea what this is going for now. Probably he's going for less than 10. He's paid less than 20 quid for definitely all the food.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, did you notice the Sphinx during the race? I never noticed it during the race. I only noticed it on the replays. Thankfully no vuvuzelas or nothing else going on in the background. There's the Sphinx, look. Heads up, there's the Sphinx. Oh well. Back to Russia.
Russia.
Tracks may change between.
Go.
Now the weather definitely changes. Tracks may change between the different championships. Obviously the weather's changed on this. It ain't snowing now, is it? I think you notice there's a train or something across a track or something nearby on this.
Checkpoint.
If I remember correctly. May have got that wrong, may have got it mixed up with something else. Pretty sure I'm getting it mixed up with Championship Edition, Saturn Daytona.
Checkpoint. Final lap.
This track's really fast. It's really fast and really slippy as well. Downhill track. This game's quite easy. First two championships are fairly easy to beat once you get used to the car handling. Final championship, the hard championship, is what it lives up to its name. That's quite difficult. It won't take you long to master it though. Once you get used to the handling of the vehicles. Oh, I do like this game. I really like it. Once you get a feel for the controls, especially with the Dreamcast pad. It's really nice. I haven't actually played this with a wheel ever. I haven't attempted to play it with a wheel at all. I just love the handling with the pad that much. I don't really wish to try it with a wheel. It's funny, isn't it? Probably really good with a wheel. Yeah, great. 12 quid's good, isn't it? 12 quid's a bargain. It's borderline steal really for 12 quid.
1. Go.
Yeah, old Olivia's using the old toenail. So it'd be a bit cold, wouldn't it, with that leotard on in that in that buggy in that kind of weather, wouldn't it? Or was you saying that kind of on that track with all the flying snow and whatever? I don't think it'd be that warm there, would you?
Checkpoint.
Just had the eating ramped up.
Checkpoint.
Kart Super Speed Racing. I've got that one actually. Do you like that? Oh, I can't make my mind up with it. I have got it. It's alright. It's almost like F1 style, innit? Now that one I do remember buying that one second hand. I did have it back in the day as well. I bought it second hand back in the day, and I bought it probably about 8 years ago. Second hand as well. I think I paid £10 for it, posted from Japan. It's alright. I think I paid probably about 20 quid, if I remember right, when I bought it originally second hand. Peru. And maybe some sort of like cross-shaped track.
Peru.
It's a crossover track. Oh, look at the weather there.
1. Go.
Rather overcast. Oh, see, he ran me and that. It's put me right into it now, look. Now at the back of the pack. I was fuddling around to try and get the reverse as well. Luckily this Buggy is fairly fast. So. Fairly rapid, so I should catch up with the leaders of the pack, as to say. It's on the side of the wall there. Trying to avoid the mud. It's slow through the mud. The handling on this car on this level a little bit sketchy. What I do like about this game is obviously your opposition as well. They do suffer with the terrain and they can make mistakes. You ain't just got to, you know, force them off the track and stuff. They do make mistakes. It can be quite brutal and quite shovey in this game. Yeah. Oh, this guy here. On the brakes on the corner there. Yeah, I don't mind kart racing. I also liked it enough to pick it up, super speed racing, to pick it up cheap. Graphically, it's quite simple, isn't it? But does he suffer with a fair bit of slowdown as well? I don't know. I think when he gets really busy, like with loads of cars on the stream, like I think the frame rate drops a little bit, doesn't it? Game that I wanted to get, I got the PAL version, and I was obviously running it through a Japanese system, which probably ain't ideal. It was F1 World Championship by Video System. And I was looking to get the Japanese release, and managed to also onto the pack again. 3 laps on this one as well. Like that, you can sort of feather the accelerator on the corners as well when you feel like you're losing the grip of the car. So, be careful with some of the corners if you overcook it, and the jumps. Too much speed in some of the jumps, obviously you've seen it, the car just rolls and just flips. It's like gambols. Definitely need to sort of avoid some of the deeper muddy puddles and stuff. So if you stick to the single side of the track, you've got a little bit more traction. Yep, so way behind it now, way behind there. So the thing is, this Buggy is pretty skitty, but it's really fast. That Schwarzspiegel car, the one that I used on the first championship, that's, let's say, the better all-rounder. It's got slightly floaty handling, but it's the same over every surface, whereas this thing, you can lose it like I've done on a couple of corners and just like the car spun on it. So.
行くわよ。
3, 2, 1, go!
The handling is a bit dodgy. On this Buggy. Once you get the feel for it, it ain't so bad. Alright. Long track, that one. Obviously then you've got the hard class, the normal hard experts, so I do believe there's a Tokyo track on that one. I'm going to be playing that because I was only going to have an hour on here tonight anyway, so just heading up to the magical hour. So fancy playing a bit of Dreamcast and a bit of Buggy tonight, so again, catch you again on another stream. Possibly tomorrow maybe, all depends, see how we feel. Cheers to the chats, thanks for viewing. See you tomorrow maybe. Have a good one.